February, it's the 2025 debut of the 12 superstars in the aforementioned Club Superstar.
Thank you so much, Kevin Wilds. This is our 4th edition. And just to remind the audience of the ground rules, this was generated shortly after the pandemic when we were still in boxes remote from our house, because it was actually a Jason Tatum discussion.
Yeah.
And it was that the word superstar was thrown around too willy-nilly, and that, like most basketball teams, 12 players, 12 guys. If you're a superstar, there's only 12 spots available.
It is what it is.
So if we have a new superstar, then that means an older superstar, a previous superstar has to come out. So to let everyone know, level set where we were 1 year ago today for Club Superstar. Last year, the superstars were AD, Ant, Brunson, Embiid, Giannis, Joker, KD, LeBron, Luka, Shea, Steph, Tatum. Donovan, Murray, Kyrie, Wemby, and Maxey were in line. Maxey, what a playoffs for him. Kicked out had been Dame, Booker, and Jimmy Butler.
Tough one.
So for the premiere of Club Superstar 2025, let's see who's out, which means we know how many spots.
Oh, how many spots?
Embiid and Anthony Davis. This is sadly AD's 2nd time kicked out of the club. He was in edition 1 and 3.
Yeah.
Kicked out for edition 2 and kicked out for edition 4. So, Brew, that means we have 2 spots open. Any issues? I think Embiid's pretty obvious. He had to go because of the lack of a. You go?
No, I wonder, and again, I don't want to reveal the club, but can you remind the audience of any injury provisions?
Well, it's you can be injured and in the club.
Okay.
What you can't be is a guy who has lost superstar status because your injuries have prevented you from year over year being able to play.
Gotcha. Like,
So,
I'm happy
AD
Tatum seems to be in the club.
I mean, Tatum's clearly still in. He didn't get kicked out. Yeah.
I'll salute you for, I was a bit torn, but leaning the way you went on AD. I was like, he obviously is a phenomenal player when he plays.
When he plays.
And even when he was healthy with the Lakers, we felt like, they're not really a contender, so he's a great player, but I'm with you here. He could get back in next year, maybe.
What
but
helps
right
him
now, I'm fine with you
was
taking
being the centerpiece of a trade for Luka Doncic. That is superstar stuff, but him getting hurt right after, being hurt during the trade, hurt right after.
A good sign you're not a superstar is when you get traded to a new team and the entire fan base melts.
That's a great point.
You know what?
Great point. Everybody's like, you lost the trade.
All right, so let's reveal.
2 spots open.
I'm surprised
there's
only
2 spots open. Let's reveal one of the rooms of the club. I gotta say, so this is the MVP room. Shea and Joker are there. What you'll also notice is Joker has taken LeBron's spot on the throne.
Wow.
Which, I'll be honest, is a little artistic license by our friend that makes these for us. And I don't really know exactly how I feel about it, but it is what it is. This is Nikola Jokic and Shea in the MVP room carrying
The
4
MVP
MVPs.
room is actually quite crowded in this club.
Well, but it's a
lot of people are going in and out.
Yeah, exactly. And more the last couple MVPs.
Gotcha.
This is what it is, and so it's Joker and Shea. We can reveal the Cancun room now. Luka, Giannis, and LeBron. None of them that happy to be there. Luka's trying to put on a brave face. These are all quite obvious, right? Like we have no issues with this.
Being the Cancun room seems kind of mean-spirited.
Well, it is what it is.
It could be more. I mean, Tatum could be in there,
but it's that those guys, they have all been in Club Superstar every year. They're all obviously still superstars. All right, now if we go down a floor,
LeBron still has his wine glass.
LeBron still has his wine glass. There's your guy, Jason Tatum. He's in a boot.
Hey,
he's still in there though.
Of course, he has to still be in there.
Absolutely.
It would be crazy to kick him out. And then on the other side of the club, also by himself, wondering, like, man, I used to have teammates in this club with me. Steph Curry. So there is no real surprises or reveals
these are all
there.
solid.
These are all guys we knew would be in there. All right. Middle of the club. Reveal. Donovan Mitchell.
Wow, makes the
Welcome to Club Superstar.
I
understand that it has been a second-round ceiling for Donovan, but John Morant made the club once upon a time when he hadn't been past the second round. We've seen other guys do that. The fact that it was the best player on a 60-plus win team in these playoffs. In one of the amazing Pacers comebacks, he had another 50-point game that his team lost, that he almost won by himself. Yep. It feels to me like he's got to be in club superstar. So this is a two-pronged kind of thing to throw out to you guys. A, any problem with Donovan being in? And B, any problem with Durant not being out?
No problem with Donovan being in. But you've heard the phrase "old man at the club."
You want Durant out of the club?
Here's the thing. Is it club superstar or is it club legend? He's a legend. He's obviously a Hall of Famer. I mean, iconic, all that. But he's the old man in the club. He's
well, LeBron's older.
Yeah, but LeBron's still playing at a higher level. LeBron's still hip. He still hangs with the youngsters. He's cool and all that. Durant is looking out of place. Is he the only guy in the club that didn't make the playoffs this year?
Well, I don't want to
probably
too much, but the answer to that question is yes.
Yeah, he didn't make the playoffs. I think Devin Booker probably is a future Hall of Famer. So had a future Hall of Famer in his prime playing with him. I just think Durant is a legend, icon, celebrity, all that. But club superstar right now, no, it's a kind of empty number.
I
got Durant out.
This is why the show works, because I do like the hardcore analysis from you. But I have
hate
a
to
soft
do it, but I
spot
think
in
he's
my
out.
heart for just aura.
Yeah.
He's a superstar.
Isn't Westbrook a superstar?
But
what about?
Lost it over.
What about Westbrook, Dame, Harden? Kawhi, I get it. They're not quite as good as Kevin Durant was, but still.
But they're also not as good as Kevin Durant is. That's the other piece of it.
Kawhi's not?
No.
Really?
No. Really?
I saw Kawhi playing in deep in the first round of the playoffs against Denver. I mean, I'm just saying.
I would trade
like
Kawhi
now, because of the injuries.
Right, but I just
Jimmy Butler. I get it. They might not be as good as Durant, but.
No,
they couldn't even get in the freaking play in.
So it is not just legacy, obviously, as demonstrated by that.
I don't know why he's in other than legacy.
Because I still think there is an argument that he is a top 15 player in the league. And
he didn't make any of the All-NBA teams,
but he wasn't
nobody
eligible.
Was like, okay,
I mean, that's kind of, you know what I mean?
I don't think he would have because of the record.
But he would have maybe been a fringe third-team guy, but he wasn't eligible. But when we get to who's in line, we can find out who Brew would have in for him. And by the way, I should have said this off the top, and my apologies for not. Our artist for this every year is the great Jack Perkins on Twitter at Pure Hoop, spelled exactly the way it sounds. He's awesome. He does a lot of NBA-related artwork. He's done this for us every year. Now, the final room of the club. Brew was worried. Tyrese Halliburton, welcome to the club.
Wow.
It should be noted, not to pat the general manager of Club Superstar on the back, but this guest list had to be compiled the first of this month because of the artwork that needs to be done. And so that was before they had beaten the Cavs. That was before it certainly what had happened in this series. We just had a feeling Tyrese Halliburton was about to go on a special run. Didn't think they were going to make the finals, and they haven't yet. But Jalen Brunson obviously still in. Nobody's kicking Jalen Brunson out.
No,
I remember last year that was the controversial inclusion, but you now agree.
I thought it was premature.
And now Tyrese Halliburton, the newest member of Club Superstar.
It's a huge one.
I'm
Very
shocked.
timely.
Yeah.
The fact that you did that essentially a month ago, because I didn't think you was that high on Halliburton.
The GM of Club Superstar.
Yeah, I mean, that's good foresight. Because I had, and I was torn on Durant, because he is a legend. He's better than these guys I mentioned. I was just like, now. So I've had Ant, KD, and one more person.
When you say Ant, you mean Anthony Davis?
Anthony Davis. Yeah, not
KD
Anthony
and
Edwards.
Embiid.
Anthony Davis and KD out.
Yeah.
And Embiid. So I mean, you had Mitchell in. I agree with that. Brunson, I believe you kept it. You should keep
and Halliburton.
in. Halliburton, you had. The one guy I had,
Well, wait,
I had.
don't tell us,
okay.
because I want to see if the one guy you had, because we still have to, there's one other part of the club.
Somebody can get in the club.
Yeah,
He's just in line.
In line, before we show it, in line used to be almost a negative.
Why?
Where it's like, because you're not in the club yet. That was like Jalen Brunson would be in line and you could make an argument. Now I'm afraid, not even being, there's some guys not even, that were, their ceiling is in line.
Oh.
They would like to be in line.
Oh,
when they used to
certainly.
be upset about being in line.
So, well, we're going to show you in line for club superstar. Wimby, who's been waiting there for 2 years in a row. Cade Cunningham, Şengün, and Devin Booker. And the one person, he's got a book. And the one person who, if there were is on his way to then stand in line, but couldn't even quite make the graphic, would have been Paolo. However, these are the people who are waiting in line, and if the assumption, so I have a multi-layered question here for you guys. If the assumption is that Victor Wembanyama is in next year, and maybe you guys are going to say he should be in already, is Durant the obvious odd man out? I think Wilds are going to say Durant's in until he retires. I mean, so I don't know who's feeling the heat.
In fact, that was what my list was. Wemby, which is an argument because obviously Wemby was hurt. But my argument was Wemby in, KD out. But that could go either way because of Wemby.
So Wemby's the guy you
Yeah,
go ahead.
I'm going to look forward to, since we're talking about next year's club. Unfortunately, and I'm a Tatum guy, I think being laid up in the club nursing an Achilles is tough. So it feels like Embiid got penalized for basically not playing, went from MVP to not